lost him. And you know what? It was just about to get good, too. It was just getting good. We lost
Should
him.
we take the break and maybe he'll call back? I don't know.
You know what? We can take the break, and we can see if Ethan can reconnect with him, because I want to hear where he goes with that answer. I don't know. CJ, I'm just saying, we just started bringing up some deep stuff, and then it gets cut off. Is the Illuminati listening to the show? Just saying.
Welcome back to the show. 3 minutes away from 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
That's it. I'm going home.
Dang, man.
See ya.
I wouldn't even be on the air on any of our stations before 8 o'clock. I don't know where that came from. Reading, it's hard.
Well, I think when you have a I'll say in all candor, when you're in a foreign country and a monkey in a diaper sitting on your head, you're asking for trouble.
Discussion can end there. That's right. Boom. It's a definitive statement on the issue. Now we move on.
So how many times have you thought about that was a bad idea that I had a monkey on my head since you had the monkey on your head?
Every time I go visit Dr. Pellegrino, my personal doctor. Do you know what it's like to tell your doctor that?
Well, Doc, I also had a monkey. Excuse me? Had a monkey on my head with a diaper on. I bet you that's the first time Dr. Ron has ever heard that one. He's probably heard a lot of things.
He's heard a lot. Yeah, Dr. Ron has.
He's one of the great West Virginians. He's up there from the Northern Panhandle.
He's awesome.
Tremendous.
Yeah, Dr. Ron. Good dude.
We were talking in my office a little earlier, and a phrase that Ryan used that I was really kind of gobsmacked over. He started a sentence with me. He said, "We were watching football on Thursday."
I know, he did the same thing to me. He did this. Is this like Earth 2?
I said, what?
He came back and started telling me about the Cowboys and the Chiefs game.
I know.
And you were watching the Lions game on Thanksgiving Day.
Well,
what happened? What happened to our little Ryan?
Well, when my Uncle Bill and my Uncle Chris asked if I want to watch football with them, I don't say no.
Okay.
So because I'm not a recluse anymore.
So if you have uncles that are big sports fans, do you get some creds? Are you like, hey, I'm actually you want to kind of sports show? It's syndicated.
Well, I don't.
Statewide.
Well, I don't want this to be a sports show.
Second game this season that Honors had 8 threes. Second time he's had 8 threes, and his coach has pulled him out with over 4 minutes to go.
You're up 40.
Yeah, but coach just does not want to see him get that record.
There may have been a discussion about that on exactly where he was in the number.
Did you let him know this time?
But there was a discussion about where he was with the number. But at the end of the day, Ross decided the juice not worth the squeeze there. With 3.5 minutes left is when he pulled him out after the timeout there. And that's a guy with a lot of minutes on his in his body. You need to rest him. But 2 out of 11, you got to think maybe he's going to approach that again. Here's what's wild. In those 2 games where he's just been one off of Alex Ruoff's record, he's now a combined 16 of 20 from 3 in those 2 games. So he didn't just make 8 threes, guys. He was 8 of 11 last night. He was 8 of 9 when he did it before. 16 of 20 combined in those 2 games.
Across this great state of West Virginia, welcome in high school game nights. I chuckle a little bit, folks, because it said early edition.
As compared to the
Only
rest
edition.
of the edition, yeah.
Yeah. Tonight is going to be interesting, to say the least.
10 seconds remaining.
Going to be a direct snap here.
Snap back. It's Tyler. Tyler fakes the run. He throws. He's got an open man. Pass top 10. 5. End zone. It's a touchdown. Pulled in by Nestor. 3 seconds left.
Are you kidding me with the play call right there by Kevin Whiteman? Again, forget the game-winning field goal. Whiteman says, we're going to try and win this thing right now. The direct snap to Tyler sucked everybody up, and Nestor slips behind. What an unbelievable, gutsy play call, and then perfect execution by these Falcons.
You had a moment of clarity about when it all started to make sense for you?
It did, because I didn't want to be a filmmaker growing up. I didn't even know what filmmaking was growing up. I used to watch Oprah and Katie Couric, and that's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be a journalist. I wanted to be you. And I worked at West Virginia University's radio station, had a very thick accent. People would call in and make fun of me. And so I asked my roommates, my college roommates who were from Baltimore, to teach me how to talk differently.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a loss, I feel, from that. And it's probably one of the reasons why I love documenting people that are authentic. Like, I don't know if I'm authentic, but I think the people I find are very authentically who they are, and that's what draws me to them.
Live from West Virginia's capital city with news from across the state. This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law, with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and Metro News' Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open line West Virginia coming up at the bottom of the hour. Nothing but your calls and text. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. It's Metro News Midday.
Metro News Midday is presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com. Join in by calling 800-765-8255 or text 304-TALK-304. Let's go live to downtown Charleston. Here's Dave Allen.
Welcome into the 2 o'clock hour. Metro News Midday is powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Dave Allen with you. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers today. Open line West Virginia on the way at the bottom of the hour. 1-800-765-TALK, 1-800-765-8255, or you can text 304-TALK-304 as we do every Friday afternoon. We like to get you pumped and ready for a busy weekend of sports. It's the Weekend Sports Blitz. Daniel Woods is with us. Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
Good afternoon.
Told Jeff a little bit earlier, I think this week has been the longest month I've ever had in my entire life.
That's a very, very good way of describing it.
It seems like this week. I mean, and I've always been one of those people, and I've talked about this yesterday. People say, "Man, can you believe it's already Christmas or it's already summer or whatever the case may be?" I've always been one of those people just like, "Yeah, whatever, it's time." And always, not this week, man. It's been a whole different.
Can you believe it's still January?
Nobody knows. And Groundhog Day is coming up on Monday. The only thing I would never threaten violence, especially against animals, because I love animals. I don't like people, but I like animals. I would say he'd better do the right thing. That's the only thing I'm saying. He'd better do the right thing.
I have trust in French Creek Freddy. Punxsutawney Phil?
Yeah,
we'll see.
All right. Well, we got
our very own West Virginian. I have belief in.
All right, do the right thing, French Creek. Freddie, you ever been to French Creek?
I can't say that I have.
I can't either. Anybody ever been to French Creek? No, they've never been to French Creek. Mate, road trip to French.
Get on the road.
When we can get there. That's the problem.
I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go upstairs. I'm going to ask Jeff Jenkins if we could do the morning news live from French Creek on Monday.
Well, it's going to be pretty cold because one thing about it is, and weather-wise, over the weekend, this storm system is going to impact mainly southern West Virginia. I've been getting, warning places like Logan, Mingo, McDowell, down that way, not so much here in the Kanawha Valley where we are or in other parts of West Virginia, but it is definitely going to remain cold. We know that tomorrow is going to be the coldest day of the year so far, and it's hard to imagine that it's going to get any colder than what it has been this week, but it is.
That's not what I want to hear. That's not what I want to hear going into my weekend.
Well, all right. So if you are going to stay in away from the cold this weekend, you want to take in some sports, you can do so. No football this weekend,
not a
or at
single
least
game.
I mean, when do they do the Pro Bowl? When is that?
Well, there really isn't a Pro Bowl anymore.
Not
it's
like I remember.
Like guys doing. It's like the old Pro Bowl skills challenge, just. Yeah. Instead of the Pro Bowl. It's very silly.
See, I used to watch the Pro Bowl back when it was the week after the Super Bowl because as a big NFL fan, that was kind of like, okay, this is my goodbye into the Hall of Fame game.
Right.
And so I would watch it. And at that point, it was somewhat competitive at the time. At least it looked like they were trying. And then it got so bad because of multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar contracts that, I'm going to get myself hurt in the Pro Bowl.
Right.
So they kind of got it. Now they do this like flag football thing, I think, or something like that. I don't even watch it. That shows you what I know. I don't even watch it.
I am the sports guy on the morning news, and I don't watch it. So There's going to be something with guys running around in T-shirts and gym shorts, and there will be footballs involved, but it's not going to resemble anything that you've seen on Sundays for the last however many weeks.
All right, well, I'll talk to you next week, of course, about the Super Bowl, but I will say this, we'll get your predictions then, but the teams are set, Dale Cooper's Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. I have several friends that are Patriots. My friend Aaron has been a Patriots fan going back to the 70s, the days of Steve Grogan and those. So he's not a Johnny-come-lately, but I think it could be an interesting matchup. Fred Persinger predicts it's going to be a great game.
I think it can be. I think it's better than what we would have seen if the Broncos won, because if the Broncos had won, Jarrett Stidham was not going to win 2 playoff games, I'll tell you that. But I do think it's going to be a competitive game. Interesting thing today, Drake May, and we're still 2 weeks out.
I know.
A little over a week out now. But Drake May has missed some practice with an illness this week, the quarterback for the Patriots. So doesn't seem like there's concern there. But things you're keeping an eye on. I do think this is going to be a fun game. I think the Seahawks defense is probably the best unit out of the 4. And in my opinion, in a game like this, you probably go with the team that has the most talent on one side of the ball that you think they can dominate with, and that's probably the Seattle defense.
All right, we'll talk about it more next week. This coaching carousel, though, coaches are starting to line up, including Mike McCarthy in Pittsburgh.
Yes. It's a choice that has been made by the Pittsburgh Steelers. However you want to look at the Mike Tomlin departure, the biggest knock on Mike Tomlin for the last 5 to 10 years has been these Steelers teams are good, not great, and they get to the playoffs, and they can't get over the hump. And you're now replacing him with Mike McCarthy, who is no longer the coach of your Dallas Cowboys, largely because he had good, not great teams that could not get over the hump in the playoffs. Right. And, oh, by the way, he's 5 years older than Mike Tomlin. So it bucks the trend of what the Steelers organization has done for the longest time. Mike McCarthy's 62 going on 63, I believe. The last 3 head coaches of the Pittsburgh Steelers, which are the only coaches that they've hired since 1969, have been Chuck Noll, Bill Cowher, and Mike Tomlin, all of whom were in their 30s when they were hired, and all of whom coached the Steelers for, I think, Cowher was the shortest tenure, and that was 14 years that he was the head coach in Pittsburgh. I wish Mike McCarthy all the best health, but a guy in his early 60s probably isn't going to coach 14-plus years and match what the guys that came before him did. So it is a departure from what the Steelers organization has done. And
well, Aaron Rodgers is happy.
Is he? Is he ever happy? That's the question.
No.
That's the real question. Is Aaron Rodgers ever happy? I think that does open the door to him coming back, because there are, I think, very few coaches in the NFL that Aaron Rodgers would have been willing to play for. One of them was Mike Tomlin. I think another person on that very short list is Mike McCarthy. And Mike McCarthy said in his introductory press conference, yeah, I want Aaron Rodgers back. So we'll see.
All right. So we'll talk more about the NFL next week. Let's talk college basketball. Let's talk WVU and the Mountaineers, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah,
or WVU and Marshall, I should say. But go ahead.
So for WVU men, interesting spot this weekend, play a Baylor team that has struggled. 7 of their last 8 have been losses. WVU coming off of a win against Kansas State. WVU is 13-0 at home and has never had an undefeated home season. So you get a chance to extend that tomorrow. Baylor's in a little bit of a rough spot at this point with the way that they have played, particularly since the Big 12 conference schedule has started. They're still a very talented team. WVU has had its ups and downs, just coming off of last Saturday, getting run off the floor by the number 1 team in the country in Arizona. These are the games you need to win for WVU if you want to have a shot at making the NCAA tournament. The Baylors, the Kansas States, who you beat earlier this week, the Cincinnatis, who you're going to get next after Baylor. Those are the games in the Big 12 you have to win if you want a chance to make the NCAA tournament. WVU women have been very good all year. They play Sunday and also play Baylor. The flip side for the women is you're comfortably building an NCAA tournament resume right now. If you want to be positioned well in the NCAA tournament, games like this one on Sunday are the ones that you have to win. So WVU has had opportunities to beat ranked opponents a couple of times, blew a lead at home against Texas Tech, blew a lead at home against TCU, and now you get a Baylor team that's tied for first in the Big 12. coming in on Sunday. It will be very interesting to see where that goes. WVU was upset earlier this week by Utah. I'm very interested to see where that team is in terms of composure for this game Sunday. And then Marshall men and women both play tomorrow. Big game for the Marshall men coming off of a loss at Texas State. Play Arkansas State, who they are half a game up on in the Sun Belt standings. The Sun Belt is just a clutter in terms of the standings this year. It's crazy. But they're half a game up on Arkansas State going into this game tomorrow. It's at Arkansas State. There's not a lot of must wins in the Sun Belt just because everybody's so close together. But if you want to solidify yourself in the top tier in the conference, you could call this a must win for Marshall. And then the Marshall women also coming off of a loss at Troy. That was a big one for them in the standings that would have been huge if they could have won it in terms of competing for that conference championship. They play Louisiana or Louisiana Lafayette, or depending on what generation you're from, they've branded themselves as 17 different things. But it's Louisiana, it's the Ragin' Cajuns, and they are 1-10 in the conference. They're 2-19 on the season. Should be a win for the Marshall women tomorrow to hopefully get them back on track.
You mentioned Texas Tech when you talked about the Mountain News early. Do you know that the newest member of the Metro News team, Brian Hughes, meteorologist Brian Hughes, was the mascot for Texas Tech?
That's what I've been told.
They have two. He was the Yosemite Sam mascot. That's what
he was the guy with the big mascot head.
Yes.
He was not the guy on the horse.
And as he told us the other day, Brian Hughes has the distinction, as far as I know, to be the only member of the Metro News team that ever got fired by Bobby Knight.
Is that a great honor to have?
Tony Caridi can't say that.
He can't.
Jeff Jenkins cannot say that. Hoppy can't say that. You can't. He got fired by Bobby. He told the story on Tuesday's show. He was sitting at the scorer's table, and something happened. Somebody messed something up, and Bobby Knight, when he was coaching Texas Tech, went over and cleared the scorer's table and said, "Everybody out." And then I think, maybe the AD or president of the university came down and said, just sit back down because NCAA is kind of funny. We actually have to have officials here. We have to have people sitting at the tables. But he has it on his resume that he got fired by Bobby Knight.
That's good to know. That's really good to know. Now, I will have to go back and check my facts. I do believe there was a run-in at some point between Kyle Wiggs and Bobby Knight in Bloomington. I don't know if it ended in a firing.
Okay. All right.
I'm for the fine folks out there watching on Metro News Television all over the network, that is not true. I'm not dragging Kyle Wiggs' name through the mud. I don't know if Kyle Wiggs has ever met Bobby Knight. But
you just thought you'd throw it out there for fun. Why not? What other big games are there in the top 25?
We got a top 10 matchup tonight, and it's a rivalry game. You get number 3 Michigan at number 7 Michigan State. Michigan is coming off one of the best wins anybody's got in college basketball this year. They've got 2 top 10 matchups this week. They beat number 5 Nebraska earlier this week, had to come from behind to do it. Was really impressed with Michigan watching that game. Was really impressed with Nebraska, who was shorthanded a couple of guys and had started off 20-0 and gave Michigan everything it could handle on the road. Beyond that, tonight, it's interesting coming up this weekend. There's a lot of ranked teams playing. There's not a lot of ranked teams playing each other. In the Big 12, this is one that will matter for WVU, not just because you're playing BYU in the not-too-distant future, but you also have a win over Kansas, so the better Kansas performs, the better you're going to look. They've very quietly snuck up to number 14 in the polls. So it's number 13 BYU against number 14 Kansas. That's at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. Kansas is a 4.5-point favorite. It's at Fog Allen Fieldhouse. They should be about a 37-point favorite when it's a ranked-on-ranked game in Lawrence. But those are the 2 ranked-on-ranked games that you're going to see tonight and tomorrow. And then Sunday, Alabama and Florida is the big game in the SEC. Alabama number 23, Florida number 19. This is going to be interesting because not just what you're going to get on the court. You are going to get Alabama with Charles Bediako, who, if people aren't following along, played 2 years at Alabama, declared for the NBA draft, should not have declared for the NBA draft, went undrafted, played the last 3 seasons in the NBA G League, the developmental league for the NBA. There's all this stuff going on with eligibility. Everybody's suing the NCAA. Well, what does Charles Bediako say to himself? Well, if the rules were a little different, I would still have 2 years of eligibility. So he sues, and he gets a restraining order that allows him to go back to Alabama. This is the last semester of his 5-year window.
What is he now, like 48? I mean, what is...
the way the eligibility clock works is you get 5 years to play 4. So in a 5-year period, you play 4 years, and you have the red shirt mixed in there. This current spring semester for colleges around the country would be the last semester of Charles Bediaco's window of eligibility since he declared early. So a judge who is, by the way, listed on the Alabama Athletic Fund's website as an active booster, gave him a temporary restraining order. He played the last 2 games, I believe. He debuted last Saturday against Tennessee and had 13 points, but they lost. He has been ruled eligible. Now the NCAA has filed a motion for that judge to recuse himself, which he has, but the restraining order has been extended. Charles Bediaco is going to play on Saturday. Florida's head coach, Todd Golden, has been very vocal about this situation and has been pretty clear about what he thinks about Charles Bediaco being eligible, and he's not very positive about it. So we'll see what happens on and off the court in Gainesville Sunday. And then Nebraska, who I was just talking about, played a top 5 matchup with Michigan. They turn around, get another top 10 game on Sunday when they host number 9 Illinois. So Nebraska is one of the best stories in college basketball. Kind of came out of nowhere to start 20-0. They're 20-1 now, still ranked 5th in the country. And Illinois had a true freshman in Keaton Wagler score 46 points the other night. So there's some solid games this weekend. Not a ton of ranked-on-ranked games, but the ones we're getting are pretty good. All right,
what about the MEC? And does it all start and end with University of Charleston right now?
They've won 8 straight.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
It really does start and end with them tomorrow because they've won 8 straight, and they're going to West Liberty, who's first in the league right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that and the Fairmont State-West Liberty game that was played earlier this year, those are the 2 biggest games in the league so far.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fascinated to see what happens in this game tomorrow because West Virginia State, who, if the people out there are unaware, I am the play-by-play broadcaster for, West Virginia State has now made it through the league once.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen the other 10 teams in the MEC all at least once. Charleston is as talented, I think, as anybody in the conference. You look at the top tier of talent, and Charleston is in it, along with West Liberty, who's leading the league, and Fairmont, who's right there with them. And there's a lot of talent in this league. There always is. But West Lib is currently first in the league. I think Charleston, by all means, can go up there and be competitive. That's a really tough place to win. It is. Some of the best teams in the country go into West Liberty and don't come out of there with wins because it's a difficult place to play, and West Liberty is a great program. But UC is one of the hottest teams in the country right now. That game is going to be appointment television for anybody who is not like me and isn't going to be calling a game of my own. Even though I'm not going to be far away, I'm going to be at Wheeling because that's where West Virginia State's playing.
All right. And you do the men's and women's games,
yes,
right, for State? All right. And you can catch those on our sister station here in Charleston, 107.3 The Beat. What's going on with State?
Coming off of a loss on Wednesday against West Liberty, who made the trip to Institute for that one. Kind of making their way through this conference schedule, have been competitive over the last few games, but not able to really play a full 40 minutes at this point. Wheeling is one of the teams they've beaten in the conference. They upset them at the Walker Convocation Center, which I got to give a shout out to Chris Richardson as well, the head coach at Wheeling. He's steadily built that thing. That's a program that had a lot of success with Danny Sankum. Chris Richardson's come in, has had to really build it since taking over, and this is his best team. They're 11-7, 6-5 in the league, but one of those 5 losses is to West Virginia State. So I think there is a measure of confidence that the Yellow Jackets can take into this one. On the flip side, you've got Wheeling, who's playing in their own gym and is going to be interested in some revenge. So it's going to be a fun game, I think, to say the least.
Well, I had a note here that I was going to close by talking about NASCAR, but NASCAR had the cookout clash down at Bowman Gray Stadium in Winston-Salem. Of course, if you've not got a chance to see the documentary on Bowman Gray Stadium, it's fascinating.
Okay.
But that got postponed because they're expecting a whole lot of snow in Winston-Salem. You don't often get to say that NASCAR events were canceled by snow, so you got the Daytona 500 next week. So we'll talk about that next week. Daniel,
yes, we can.
I appreciate you being here, man. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate you having me.
All right. And that kid, the guy is still playing, and like he's 55 years old now, right?
Something like that.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll be back after this. Stay with us.
At Glenville State University, we are pioneers. With over 45 undergraduate degree programs, 17 NCAA athletic teams, and countless campus organizations and activities, we're here to help you build your story while becoming a part of ours. Glenville State University. Your dream, your future, your story. Visit glenville.edu today for more information.
The Mountain State's premier fishing, hunting, and outdoor sports show returns to Milan Park in Morgantown March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of campers and RVs, boats and ATVs, hunting and fishing supplies, guns, knives, and more. Limited vendor space is now available. To put your products and services in front of over 10,000 outdoor enthusiasts, visit WVOutdoorSportsShow.com. The 24th Annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show, presented by Can-Am, March 7th and 8th at Milan Park in Morgantown. A WVRC Media event.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Coming to the Beckley Convention Center, Saturday 23rd and 24th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with 2 swords.
Former CNN Journalist Don Lemon now in the custody of U.S. Marshals. He is scheduled to appear in federal court in Los Angeles on January the 30th. He was arrested, I guess today is January the 30th. Yeah, later today. And he was arrested yesterday. So we'll take a break. Back after this. And now we'll go to the Metro News Anchor Desk for a check of local news. You're listening to Midday on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
West Virginia Metro News, I'm Jeff Jenkins. It's snowing in southern West Virginia this afternoon, part of a larger snowstorm that is mostly missing West Virginia. The National Weather Service does have McDowell and Mercer counties under a winter storm warning through tomorrow evening. Meteorologist Simone Lewis.
They are generally looking at about 3 to possibly upwards of 5 inches across those areas. Some spots could even see locally higher amounts of up to 6.
A handful of other counties, Boone, Logan, Mingo, Raleigh, Monroe, and Summers, are under a winter weather advisory, could get up to 4 inches of snow. Been a tough week at the Morgantown Municipal Airport.
The Morgantown Municipal Airport has been closed since Sunday due to severe weather, primarily ice. Airport Director Jonathan Vrabel says the thickness of the ice is unprecedented, and they've had to bring in a new chemical.
We are really thinking we'll be able to open tomorrow with the new chemical we have coming. We think that will help us get over the hump.
Now, Morgantown received 4 to 8 inches of snow plus a cocktail of freezing rain, sleet, rain, then back to snow. I'm Mike Knowlting for WVMetroNews.com.
County school systems across the state working today to get snow and ice off the tops of school buses. Counties anticipate going back to in-person classes on Monday. There's been no in-person classes this week. A lot of counties went to remote education days. Maintenance crews been working to get the ice off. You're listening to Metro News for 40 years, the voice of West Virginia.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
Now showing on Metro News Television, your friends at Hope Gas present Episode 6 of State of Minds. Hoppy Kercheval visits with Jacob Gordon, world-renowned tattoo artist and owner of Katana Gold.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with 2 swords.
State of Minds, Episode 6, now available on Metro News TV. Presented by Hope Gas, with support from Greer Industries. Only on the Metro News Television app.
There may be a few surprises between now and tomorrow night's midnight deadline for candidates to file for this year's elections. Ohio County Delegate Sean Fluharty, who's been in the House for several terms, filed today to run for state Senate in the Northern Panhandle.
Let's get to work and work on real issues for real people. I'm just tired of seeing these far just off their fringe agendas.
Ohio County State Senator Laura Wakeham Chapman is running for re-election. She's also facing a challenger in the primary. From the Metro News Anchor Desk, I'm Jeff Jenkins.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail? Get groceries? How about getting your annual vaccines? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. Because we've got you. With local vaccine events and access to transportation, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore.
You've got this.
A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougotthis.usaging.org.
This is Metro News Midday, presented by Salango Law. SalangoLaw.com.
Welcome back to the show. 26 minutes away from 3 o'clock on a Friday afternoon. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit SalangoLaw.com. Metro News Midday is heard all over the great state of West Virginia. Great radio stations like WJLS in Beckley, WCHS in Charleston, our flagship, WKMZ in Clarksburg, WD&E in Elkins, WKLP Kaiser, WVW Logan, WEPM Martinsburg, WAJR in Morgantown, WSLW White Sulphur Springs, and WKKX, WVLY in Wheeling. It is a Friday edition of the show. It's 26 minutes away from 3 o'clock. Open line, West Virginia. What's on your mind, West Virginia? Calls, text, all welcome. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. I jokingly from time to time will say something about writing a letter. However, and I don't mean this in, I don't mean in disrespect to my friends in the postal community, of which I have several, but yesterday was the first day that we have had mail service at our house since last Saturday. Now, granted, our the community that we live is a little ice covered, but it's not like we live, 30 miles off the main road. We live in Taze Valley, and yesterday was the first day that we've had mail delivery at our house. And I understand safety and so on and so forth, but you remember that whole thing? Neither rain or sleet or snow. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. We had a discussion earlier about advertising. Talked to Delegate Elliott Pritt, who is one of the ones and some others that have been championing a bill in the State House that would limit advertising for the wording on certain things. And it had to do primarily with adult entertainment establishments, words like, full nude and things like that. And they're in talking to Delegate Pritt, and I'm glad we had the conversation, it was not about telling these places they can't advertise. It was just about the wording that they used. And he feels that it is not a good image for West Virginia. We were talking about rules as far as advertising goes, and there are plenty. But the text about that says there's precedent in West Virginia with video lottery terminals. That's why they're called hotspots and cafe and motel. The state prohibits anything with advertising related to casinos and gambling. And I'll be honest with you, I understand, and we had a thoughtful conversation, Delegate Pritt and myself, a little bit earlier. But I don't have a dog in a fight when it comes to the advertising places. I just kind of got an issue with telling people how they can promote their business, in the words that they use. Great conversation with Delegate Pritt. Urge you to go back and listen to it. But the texter's right about that when it comes to video lottery machines, and that's why you see them with just one name. These names like, and I'm just choosing Mimi's, Lola's, whatever the case may be. And anyway, text says, it's nice to know someone party as it helps sort out their beliefs. For many jobs, good to know that sort of thing. This goes back to the conversation, I think, that I had with Delegate Sean Fluharty, and there was some discussion in the State House about making all municipal elections, office holders would have to, they'd all be partisan. Many cities around the state, they don't have parties. If you're running for mayor, you're running for city council, you're just running for mayor or city council. Other cities have very unique names for the parties, not named Republican and Democrat, very other different names as well. And there are some in the legislature that want that to change, and they want all elections to be partisan. I am one of the ones that believes, my personal opinion, just as a voter and a talk show host, that I don't know why, if you're running for a city council seat in, pick a name, Elizabeth, West Virginia, why you have to declare Republican or Democrat. I mean, all that's public information pretty much anyway. You can find it, what somebody is. Anyway, 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK-304. Text says, so glad our brilliant legislature has solved everything, so now we can go after nudie billboards and putting Bibles in classrooms, says the text. I don't know if you should put those two things together, to be honest with you. Text says, hey, Dave, we had rolling smoke takeout last night, and it was delicious. You ordered one of everything on the Restaurant Week menu. We live in the area and have experienced the ups and downs of this establishment. I must say they're back and better than ever. Nod to the folks at Rolling Smoke Barbecue, our lunch spot for this week, and I can attest for their food. It's very, very good. We have a little bit of a partnership with them from time. Well, last week, for example, we did our sock drop. They were nice enough to say, hey, you guys are doing something good for the community. We are going to send you some food. And it was delicious. And then talking to Kelly, one of the owners there, I did not know they had collard greens on the menu. So I think we are having something next week, and Rolling Smoke's going to provide us some food. I will say this, Kelly, I'm going to hold you to your promise that was made on the airwaves of the West Virginia Metro News Network that you said, I am going to get my own personal collard greens next week in a cup and a bowl that says Dave on the side. And please say Dave Allen, because if not, weekly, well, Wilson won't get it because he's Northern Dave, and they don't know anything about collard greens where he's from. And I don't think he or Dave Jecklin. It's Weekly I worried about. And I may be wrong. I'll ask you when he gets here. Dave Weekly does not strike me as a collard green kind of guy. Could be wrong. But I do appreciate the text. Text says, this country was founded on Christian values. If you don't like it, move to Russia. Well, that's not exactly true. Text says, every time I hear a Republican speaking to the Capitol, I feel like I get dumber, says a texter. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text said, about time someone arrested Don Lemon. He should be found guilty of treason along with every other liberal. Again, a bit extreme. If anything, I think Don Lemon should be in trouble for. It's these journalists that interview people using tiny microphones. You know, like the lapel type, I guess they sync them with their iPhones or something. I mean, I'm not saying you got to have a microphone that looks like Bob Barker and now Drew Carey, but those little microphones honestly freak me out when you're interviewing people with them. They just kind of freak me out. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, snow is coming. Better make sure to panic and go buy every loaf of bread and every gallon of milk in the store. I wonder how those that went out last Saturday and Sunday and took every gallon of milk, every loaf of bread, I wonder how they did in the snow and the ice storm with all that bread and milk. Just kind of wonder how the French toast kits, as Rob Reel calls it, turned out. 19 minutes away from 3. Let's go to the phones and let's talk to Danny. You're on the show. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I was just going to make a couple comments about the 4-day school week.
Yes, go ahead.
20 years ago, when gas was hitting $5 a gallon, where we had our children in school, it was a private school, went to a 4-day school week.
Mm-hmm.
They went an extra hour and a half every day.
Okay.
Had Fridays off. If they missed a day, it was 1.25 days, but we absolutely loved it.
Really? Okay.
It gave time on the Fridays if I wanted to take a half a day, to where if we wanted to take off and do something, we didn't have to pull kids out of school. And it was, to us, it just fit well. Now, for others with child care, it may be another issue.
So explain what the day looked like back then. I know you mentioned at the very beginning, but I want to make sure people understand it. Explain what the average day looked like. And again, we're talking about private school, but give me a time frame of what the day looked like.
Instead of getting out right at 3:00, we got out at 4:20.
Okay.
I think, if I remember correctly, the start time moved up about 15 minutes.
Okay.
So pretty much from 8 to like 4:20 was the day. The class times were extended. And like I said, an extra hour and a half added on to the day. And it was just, to me, retention was better because, if you're 45 minutes to an hour in a class and you're getting in depth of something and you have questions and now class is over, it gave a little bit more time for that one subject. And retention for my daughter, I think, was better.
So this is something, and again, this all comes with, I was talking about this earlier, that there was some folks in the legislature that are just kind of floating that idea around and talking about it. If this were to become a thing, and you said your kids were in a private school at that time, but overall, would this be something that you would support?
I would support it.
How do you feel about year-round schools? Because a lot of places around the country have gone to year-round schools. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I was going to bring that up as well because I have some friends of mine out of state that does year-round school. And if you look at the concept of year-round school, it's amazing. I mean, you go 9 weeks, you're off 3 or 4. Then around Christmas time, it's like a 4 or 5 week break. Middle of summertime, it's a 4 or 5 week break. You're still getting your 180 days in, but you're going one semester or one 9-week period at a time.
Yeah, it's not actually less time. I mean, it's you just get more time off to kind of make up for it. It all equals out, is what you're saying.
It does equal out because if you go, if I'm thinking right, it would have to be like a 9-2, 9-6, 9-2, 9-6 to where you get a longer break around Christmas time, around bad weather time.
Mm-hmm.
You get a longer break in the summertime for vacation time. But in the fall and the spring, you've got that 3-week off time slot or that 2-week off time slot that, for people like me, great, let's go out of town in March where it's crowds.
Absolutely.
And pull the kids out of school like that. And I love the concept, and the friends that I have that do that, they would never go back to like we have now.
Okay. Hey, Danny, I got to leave it there. I got to hit the break. I appreciate you calling. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, 2:45. We're back after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Coming to the Beckley Convention Center, Saturday 23rd and 24th. Who are the toughest men and women in the state of West Virginia? Watch Tough Man live on Metro News Television to find out. Featured fights, top 5 finishes, and event archives. Download Metro News Television on iPhone, iPad, Android, Roku, LG TV, Apple TV, Fire TV, and select Samsung Smart TVs. Find out more at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you. We've got it down to a science, an absolute state of art. We do it all, restoration, cleaning, and reconstruction. When disaster strikes, just pick up the phone. We're Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration, and we're gonna save you.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Stike Wealth Enhancement Group is now Wealth Enhancement, and we craft detailed financial plans for people like you because you're building your retirement your way. You deserve advice that's built to handle what your life brings. To meet with your Stike team advisor, call us at 304-443-4240 or email stike-info@wealthenhancement.com.
On the next State of Minds.
People appreciate cool tattoos and they appreciate good tattoos. It's a way to make yourself different.
What do you think would fit me?
I think a ninja. A ninja with 2 swords.
Us.
Welcome back to the show. 2:49, 11 away from 3. Metro News Midday, powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com, salangolaw.com. West Virginia's on the rise. New businesses, new opportunities, and a strong, resilient workforce leading the way. Check out the full story. WVEnrich.com, a video presentation sponsored by Huntington Bank. Proud to be investing in the future of West Virginia. It is Open Line West Virginia. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, refreshing interview today with the Winfield basketball coach. In this day of constant transfers, it's great to hear a coach doing the right thing, says the text. That was a reference to the local show in Charleston. Did an interview today with the Winfield basketball coach, Travis Tarr. Let me see here. Text says, why are Christians trying to impose their religion on everyone by using the government? I bet Christians would be crying if Muslims were trying to do the same. 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text says, teachers crying for a pay raise is laughable. If I suck at my job and have a record of just going backwards, not only would I not get a raise, I would be fired, says the texter. Text says, why won't these conservatives make a law against gambling advertisements and other advertising for vices? It worked on cigarettes. Why not gambling and alcohol? Text says, whatever Republican runs against Shelley better campaign on not being a lapdog for Trump. Shelley's the fourth-ranking senator and a yes woman for Trump. Can't get a better lapdog than Shelley. I don't think running as not being a lapdog for Trump is a good strategy, though, as it seems West Virginians want a Trump lapdog to represent them. I don't know about the term lapdog, but I will say this. If you're a Republican in West Virginia and you are going to run saying things like that, or just saying, I don't go along with President Trump, then you're not going to get elected. That's the bottom line. 1-800-765-TALK is the phone number. Text 304-TALK 304. Text says, ha, Don Lemon. Text says, Donald Trump's administration entering its death spiral. It's going to try to force Congress to pass the SAVE Act, which will prohibit women from voting if their birth certificate and legal name don't match. It's already too late to change those. I'm sure women are cool with losing their right to vote, says the texter. Text says, so we have a delegate trying to put a Bible in our school system instead of teaching writing, reading, and arithmetic, trying to push their religious beliefs in school. She needs to read her American history. And now we have delegates question using gambling language on billboards after they have approved gambling. Says, well, it was a senator, and it was just that this Bible would be placed in the classroom, wouldn't be taught. It would be placed in the classroom, and it would be paid for with private donations. Just wanted to get that out there. Text says, when a New York judge dismisses charges of first-degree murder and second-degree murder due to insufficient evidence that Mangione intended to terrorize the civilian population and also ruled against the federal death penalty, please explain to me how leftists swear we do not have activist judges. We all saw the videos that pure evil knew what he was doing and who he was targeting, premeditated. So how do you remove first degree and the death penalty? 1-800-765-TALK, text 304-TALK 304. Text says, fire Kristi Noem now. Text says, hi, Dave. Just a reminder that teachers are professional educators with real degrees and not babysitters. Babysitter rates $20 an hour per kid. If you choose this, pay us this rate. 30 kids, $20 per kid, plus 7.5 hours a day. That's $4,350 per day. Thanks, says the texter. Text says, I'm a Republican and a Trump supporter. It's time to end ICE now. Text says, the fact that people don't want Bibles in schools should tell you everything you need to know about America now. God help us all, says the texter. Text says, great video. Very inspiring. Praying for you. The video I did on Dave Autorial, that I call them. I did on Dave Allen Radio and at Dave A70 on X, my social media. Text says, if Canada became the 51st state, Mark Carney could become president and would be the end of MAGA as we know it. Says. Text says, how many counties make up the Kanawha Valley? Well, I mean, depends on how you look at it. I mean, obviously Kanawha, but the valley is considered also to be part of Putnam County. So 3. How's that? 2:54. We'll wrap it up after this.
We'll be right back. This is Metro News Midday. Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
New year, new truck. Start your year off with a new truck from Dan Cava Toyota World. Now lease a 2025 Tacoma for as low as $299 a month. Save over $7,500 off on select Tundras or get 2.99% for 72 months. It's your last chance to get a gas model 2025 RAV4. Don't miss out. Come experience cars you can count on year after year. Dan Cava, Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the road.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I have had a complicated relationship with food. My job was to talk to heart failure patients about diet and exercise. I felt like, why would you listen to me? Because I was not following a diet that was healthy for me. I needed help. Bariatric surgery at WVU Medicine helped me lose 175 pounds. I feel like I'm free. They hold the skill, they hold the tools, and they're waiting for you to come say that you need the help.
Poca Valley has proudly served the citizens of Roane, Kanawha, Putnam, and surrounding counties for over a century. As your trusted community bank, we're committed to building relationships and meeting your financial needs. And with the Poca Valley Visa card, you can enjoy competitive interest rates, no annual fees, and a rewarding points program, all from a bank you know and trust. Visit your local Poca Valley office to apply or call us. Poca Valley, where relationships matter. Member FDIC.
Trojan Landing Marine is now Charleston's newest power sports dealership.
We now feature a full line of sleek Suzuki street bikes and four-wheelers. We're now offering the innovative riding experience of Benda motorcycles. The next step in motorcycle evolution with all-electric Zero high-performance bikes. We've now got Segway vehicles starting as low as $10,000. Come in and check out our great selection of high-quality Benelli and Royal Enfield bikes. Visit Trojan Landing in Charleston, now your water, road, and dirt dealership.
Start your new year off right with a new ride from Dan Cava GMC. Come explore our 2026 GMC Acadias. Spacious, smooth, and made for everyday life. It's truly a fan favorite. Drive into winter with a new 2026 GMC Sierra, now up to $12,000 off, or lease as low as $499 a month. So upgrade your ride this year with us at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop the road.
It's high school basketball season, and Metro News Television has you covered. Rivalries, buzzer beaters, classic hardwood competition. Watch live and on demand from gyms across the Mountain State. Stream Metro News Television on your iPhone, Android, Roku, Apple TV, Fire TV, LG TV, and select smart TVs. Or visit MetroNewsTV.com for more information. High school basketball lives here on Metro News Television.
Patrick Association Foundation.
Just about to close it down 3 minutes before the top of the hour. Metro News Midday powered by Salango Law. Visit salangolaw.com. Stephanie Pauly, Ryan Nicholson, our producers. Today, final text says, kind of tired of hearing teachers complain about their salaries and their jobs. Just like everybody else, they knew what they were getting into when they decided to go into that field, says a texter. Text says, Dave, I also live in Tays Valley, and while we didn't have any mail delivery, we did have our newspaper delivered. So apparently I'm not the only one that still gets a hard copy of the newspaper.
I do.
I just don't give. Only the old people like us.
Yeah.
You know, again,
that's all right.
That's Dave Weekly. He talks on the radio. How you doing, man?
I'm good. When are we going to have a heart-to-heart conversation about Mike McCarthy?
Well, actually, Daniel and I did last hour. Early this hour on the Sports Blitz, yeah.
What'd you guys decide?
Daniel brought up the fact that McCartney didn't exactly light it up in Dallas as a head coach, and that
double-digit wins would be pretty nice for Dallas now.
I haven't.
Right?
I haven't talked to, that was low.
Was it? Was it really low?
No, it was factual. Actually, it was factual. I haven't talked to my buddy Danny Z up in Pittsburgh, Dan Zangrilli, in a couple days, or a couple weeks, I should say, or Colin, a couple of my friends up there with KDKA, but wonder what their take on everything is up there with McCarthy.
You give him a little extra rope because he's a Yinzer?
Maybe, possibly. I don't know.
Do we give Rich Rod a little extra rope because he played at WVU? Is the same? Is it a similar situation?
Possibly. What you got on the big show today, big guy?
We're talking about nicknames for your car. Do you realize that more than half of us have a nickname for your car?
Mm-hmm. That's true.
And 60% of us talk to our cars.
I don't talk to my car, but all my cars have had names.
All right.
All of them have. Not really nicknames. It's just their name.
So that's where we're getting at. That's the question of the day.
Hotlines coming up on many of the same Metro News stations. Producers Ryan Nichols and Stephanie Pauly, thank you so much. This week has been the longest month I've ever been a part of.
I know.
See you Monday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.